What if I told you that while America and China dominate headlines, another country quietly becoming one of the most important players in India's future? Not US, not China, it's Japan. And this shift is much bigger than cars or bullet trains. Because Japan is now moving into India's banks, semiconductors, data centers, AI infrastructure, and even critical minerals. This may be one of Asia's most underreported economic stories. For decades, Japan's presence in India was easy to spot. You saw it on roads through Maruti Suzuki cars, you saw it in scooters through Honda, you saw it in electronics through Panasonic, and you saw it in infrastructure through metro projects and the Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train. Japan's India strategy was simple: build factories, sell products, finance infrastructure. But now something has changed. Japan is no longer treating India as just a consumer market. It is starting to see India as a long-term strategic partner. So why is this happening now? The answer is simple: China risk plus India opportunity. For decades, Japanese companies heavily depended on China. China was their factory, China was their supply chain, China was also a huge consumer market. But over the last few years, several things changed. COVID disrupted global supply chains, geopolitical tensions between China and the West increased, labor costs in China rose, and countries started worrying about semiconductor security and overdependence on China. This triggered what may call the China plus one strategy. Global companies started looking for alternatives, and India emerged as one of the biggest options. Earlier, Japan's India story was dominated by automobiles. Maruti Suzuki transformed India's passenger car market. Toyota built a premium brand presence. Honda and Yamaha became major two-wheeler players. Japanese companies also invested heavily in industrial manufacturing and infrastructure. In many ways, Japan helped shape modern industrial India. But now, the investment story is evolving. Today, Japan is investing in sectors linked to India's future economy. First, semiconductors. India wants to become a global chip manufacturing hub, and Japanese companies are deeply connected to the global semiconductor ecosystem. Renesas Electronics is already expanding partnerships in India. Japanese semiconductor equipment firms are also showing interest in India's chip ambitions. Why does this matter? Because semiconductors are now seen as strategic assets, just like oil once was. Countries want secure chip supply chains, and Japan sees India as part of that future. But perhaps the biggest sign of change is happening in finance. Japanese banking giant Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group invested billions into Shriram Finance. This was one of the largest foreign investments in India's financial sector. Another Japanese giant, Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, is also expanding its Indian ambitions. This is a major shift because Japan is no longer just exporting products to India. It now wants exposure to India's domestic growth story itself. Loans, consumer finance, infrastructure funding, India's rising middle class. Japan wants to participate directly in India's economic expansion. Then comes digital infrastructure. Japanese tech giant NTT Data is rapidly expanding data centers in India. Why are data centers important? Because AI, cloud computing, digital payments, and streaming platforms all depend on massive data infrastructure. India's internet economy is exploding, and Japan wants to help build the digital backbone behind it. This is completely different type of relationship from the old automobile era. Japan is also becoming more active in clean energy and critical minerals. Countries across the world are trying to reduce dependence on China for rare earth supply chains. These minerals are essential for batteries, EVs, and advanced electronics. India's strategic importance rises because of this. Japanese firms are also increasing investments tied to renewable energy and energy transition projects in India. This includes solar, industrial decarbonization, and clean infrastructure. Another interesting trend: Japanese investments are spreading beyond traditional hubs. Earlier, most Japanese investments were concentrated around Delhi NCR and Chennai. Now companies are expanding into Gujarat, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Rajasthan. Why? Because these states are becoming major centers for semiconductors, electronics, renewable energy, and digital infrastructure. This shift matters for both countries. Japan has aging population and slower economic growth. India has a young workforce and one of the world's fastest growing large economies. For Japan, India offers growth. For India, Japan offers something unique: long term, patient capital. Unlike some short term global investors, Japanese investments are often infrastructure focused and manufacturing oriented. That aligns well with India's development ambitions. And geopolitically, both countries increasingly share concerns about supply chains, Indo Pacific security, and economic resilience. Japan may not dominate headlines in India the way America or China do, but quietly, steadily, and strategically, it is becoming deeply embedded in India's future economy. From cars to chips, from factories to finance, from metros to data centers, Japan's India story is evolving into something much bigger. And over the next decade, this partnership could reshape not just India's economy, but the balance of economic power in Asia itself.